Hello, everybody. It's Justin. All right, got to get this show on the road here. Setting up all the things. Go ahead and turn that down right there. Share. Hello, Wreck-It Room. All right. I need to send an email about that because I have no idea how to interact, and I feel bad because I don't want to look like a jerk. I'm supposed to be saying something or doing something with the person I'm being paired with. All right. There. And we'll say hashtag game devs hashtag that game dev hashtag JFox Media hashtag gamer and hashtag Black Simulator. Okay, hashtag look. There we go. And we'll do one for Facebook. Share in the group. Okay. That's that. And I think that might be just about all that I need to do right now. So luckily this time I have a tablet that actually is a little bit better functioning than some of the other ones I've actually had. So I'm now working off of that too. Let's see what happens. No, I don't want Philip DeFranco right now, even though I love Philip DeFranco. That's one of my live stream. And I was wanting to see if I can get my chat up on this thing, but maybe, maybe not. I don't know. There we go. Live chat is up. Pop out the chat. Okay. So, I'm now officially on. Let's play these musics. Someone shows up, I'll say hi. If not, I won't. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
No. Okay. Let's see if I were going to do it for. Ugh. Okay, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to actually set up an event where the character, like, it's like a randomized event, so I'm just trying to make sure that it doesn't turn off forever. I just want to kind of continuously go. So I'm having a lot of trouble with that right now. I just may be thinking about it in the wrong-headed fashion, that's all. And I hear myself in the background. Okay. So anyway. Oh.
Oh. That's the. Ugh. Do that, I'll just keep going. So, only thing I think of is maybe do something like this. Chicken and ham? What is going on, homie? Can you hear anything that I'm saying? Because I don't know what the levels are with the music and also what I'm doing here. I don't know what E means.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm looking at, I have a second screen now, so like I can now actually see the delay and how long it is. I don't know what that means. One of the reasons why I love you, David, is because you're almost as confusing as I am. And that's a weird error I keep getting. Oh, whoops. Maybe I should put all this in just one line of code, and then that way things won't be so weird. Cause I don't know, I'm freaking myself out. I made this such a mess that I have no idea where to even start right now. So I might just start completely over. Cause this has gotten officially redonkulous. Okay, let's try this. Let's try, good God. Let's see here, version 2. Okay. Let's do a control variables, randomize it, random folks. Oh, right now I'm working on making the randomized racist stuff. So let's see. Okay, I'll show you. Give me just a second. I'll put some random switch in there. I don't know. Switch A. Hold that off for right now. Okay, so what I'm wanting to happen is that there'll be random events where you're just walking down the street and then somebody will randomly, you'll get like an icon or warning. So this is what the warning is. Negro sends tingles. Which is hilarious. Oh, because primarily I don't know how to. To answer your question, Dave. So you have a white girl who's staring at you suspiciously. So what do? Do you turn away or do you stare back at her? Now, you can go ahead and turn away and I'll do this. So it's just gonna go away eventually, okay? Now, if you were to, for example, run to this event, the cops are looking at you suspiciously. What do? Do you yell at the cop for profiling, or do you ignore him and walk wider? Do you walk wider? So, I found this pretty humorous when I saw it in actual gameplay. I'm gonna go ahead and ignore him and walk wider. See that? You're just dancing, and shucking a jive. But that's what I'm working on right now. I'm just trying to make sure that it actually works properly. It could be randomized the way that it needs to be randomized, and it's kind of annoying right now because reasons. So yeah. But I think I can fix it. I can fix it. I've done this before with my previous game, but I can't go into the code right now to actually figure out how I did that in the first place. This always seems to be way more complicated than it needs to be. It's not like I want. Because I would do things like this on accident, you know, not knowing what I was doing, and I was fine, but whatever. Anyway. That would be good because I love you guys and everything, you know, but I don't know I've gotten much use out of my YouTube channel in terms of this sort of stuff than my Twitch stuff. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. But anyway, that's what I'm working on at least. So at least you know that much. So my theory is okay. That it'll roll this event 5 5. Okay, and now I need to make an if else condition. So if the variable on the well, to answer your question, Dave, what either one choice may work for one situation where not another. Which is good. Like, that's the thing about it. Like, I want to make this game as accessible as I possibly can for like anybody to play. Like mom and dad to play, you know, you hit the button or whatever, you know, and select the thing, and that's that. But what would be freaking hilarious is if it were to go to like a battle scene, a randomized battle scene, and you have certain attacks, and all the attacks are basically, you know what I'm saying, ignore this person, ignore that person, you know what I'm saying, and exactly what you're talking about, right? And you know, depending on how you respond and everything, you'll either win the battle or lose the battle, you know, in terms of that sort of thing, you know, like, and like make it like Dragon Warrior style. Like, you know, a redneck appears, you know, and like, so like, I was kind of thinking about that. And I was like, I don't know. So, but it wouldn't be as accessible to everybody. So I'm trying to make an easier version of that to appeal to as many people as possible. Because I want, like, you know, like grandpa to be able to play something like this. But I thought that'd be freaking hilarious. The gamer side of me said that's freaking hilarious if that were to happen. So it'd be more work though. I don't know. But I do think that what you're saying is correct with that. So you had to kind of pick which one to do, and I need to like randomize like which button the selector lands on, so that I can so you don't just kind of like, oh, I know what to do. It's like, well, and you hit the button too soon. It's like, oh, I chose the wrong one because I wasn't paying attention. So I want to make sure that the player has to pay attention, because where it lands will be randomly selected in terms of the choices that you have. But anyway, just response to one situation won't be the best choice for another. Right. And I'm thinking the same thing too. But like, because like, you know, like because taking what you're saying to the furthest degree, I guess what I was saying for the battle system, maybe like redneck, what do you do? and you have a list of different attacks or whatever, and like and you know, you have your ignored, you have your, you know, yell back, or you have your whatever, you know, and you have to kind of choose based on of what the situation actually is. So, but putting that inside of a battle system itself. So I thought that might kind of work also. I mean, either way works. It's just that I don't want to. And one would solve my problem for, you know, switching up gameplay, and then the other one, but it would also make it more complicated for the person that's not used to any type of RPG elements at all. So, but on the other hand, you know, it would just, this is better for everybody, but at the same time doesn't really solve my, you know, switching up gameplay thing. At least I don't think, not too much. So that's what I'm thinking about. Hopefully that made sense. Okay. Random folks, events, constant, 5. Because the problem is that I need this thing to shut the frig off, and not do anything. It won't sit still, and that's what's so frustrating right now. It will not sit still. It just wants to keep on looping it over and over and over again. I'm kind of like, can we break the loop? Hopefully. But every time I try to do like a break the loop, it freaks out on me too. So I don't know. I think I've been doing this for years and years and years now, and I'm like, oh, I don't know. Okay, so this might do it right here. Boop. And beep. Get rid of that. Nothing will happen if not. Okay. Now let's go ahead and just, what if not worry about that right now? We won't even take a look at that. I'm not trying to set the world on fire. I just want a flame in your heart. Okay. It always, I don't know why that's doing that. I had to find out maybe some information about why it keeps doing that. I think it's because of racism. That's why. Everything is racism. Every last thing. All right. Oh. Yeah, see. Oh, that's why. Duh. That could be the problem. I did not. I did not. I completely forgot that there was any voting involved. Let's see here. Constant. Tell moms I said hi. I'm sure she's disappointed in me that I didn't vote. uh, well, just so you know, you have a wonderful son who owes me money. I'm just kidding. He doesn't owe me money. Yeah, I knew that. I knew you're gonna be. I hear that a lot from my grandparents and everything. Is that very thing? Oh, I was saying that usually I just right here from my I hear that from my grandmother especially. I hear that from her a lot. I hear that from my mom a lot. But I wonder, like, you know, if they knew I was going to vote like straight Republican ticket, would they tell me the same thing? Like, just straight Republican, just straight up down the line. Let's see here. That's what I need to start doing, is be like, did you vote? Like, yep, straight conservative. It's all the way down. Oh, man. Hmm. Hey, I agree with you. Voting is voting. Like, usually what happens to me is that my grandmother will she will say the same thing. She'll tell me, you know, did you vote and everything, you know, and a lot of times, like I said, I miss these things, and um and she's like, see, we gotta make sure we get these Republicans out of here. You know what I'm saying? So she just want me to do the straight Democrat ticket, and I see that a lot of times, you know, in the black community, is that I'm only allowed to vote one way. Like, I remember when I went to an event out in the park, and they were handing out basically little pamphlets that told you who to vote for. Basically, it was like here's all the Democrats, And they give you a little pamphlet saying that here's all the Democrats, so you can have an easier time voting for the Democrats. And I was like, what an odd thing to do. so I found it very, very interesting. But that's one thing my grandma would always do. It's like, we gotta get the Republicans out of here, you know, because there's a good guy and a bad guy. There's a good side and a bad side, and that's the way we play it here. Oh man. Yeah, they sure don't. And you get pressure about that too. Like, I feel more comfortable saying that I believe that Jesus Christ is the Son of God. Basically, a 2,000-year-old carpenter is God in the flesh, right? I feel more comfortable saying that, and saying that the only way to get to the Father is through Him. I feel way more comfortable saying that than I ever would saying that I'm black and conservative. Like, there are still people that, you know what I'm saying, don't know what I am. Now, truly, I'm kingdom. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm part-time whatever else. Part-time black, part-time game developer, part-time whatever else. I'm full-time kingdom. You know what I'm saying? So I work for Christ full-time, as any Christian should. So that's just kind of the way that I think about it. It's not that deep for me. But a lot of people don't feel that way. So, because the way it was always put to me was always, hey, Justin, vote for the Democrats because they're for the poor people and the Republicans for the rich people. That's what I was always told. But then I was like, now wait a minute though. What if I want to be rich? Shouldn't I vote for the Republicans then? Because they're going to be helping me out, you know? So, if they're about businesses and, you know, and things like that, you know, they seem to be more pro that, so that I can get a job, you know, or that so they can help me with my businesses, you know, and get me funnel more money into that so I can do things like hire a guy like David McKee, you know, to a greater degree, then I would want to do that, wouldn't I? So that was kind of my question about things like that. I was like, well, what if I don't identify as being poor? So that's kind of this weird thing. It's like, Blavy, we do this thing where we say that vote Democrat because they're for the poor people and the Republicans for the rich people. Well, that means that you think of yourself as being poor and always going to be poor because you're black. And I was like, well, I don't agree with that thought. It's like, shoot, I ain't gonna be poor. I'm gonna be a wealthy guy. I know I'm supposed to be a wealthy guy because I want to do all this philanthropic stuff. You know, I want to be able to give to have tons and tons of money just go to give to causes that I care about and make a worthy successor to Hollywood, because I think that whole system's about to crash. I want to do these huge things, you know, and yeah, I want a tax break. You doggone right I do. That's more money so I can go ahead and make the things so I can employ more people to do the things. Now, not everybody thinks that way, you know, in terms of wealthy people, but a lot of them do, because a lot of them have to actually be honorable in order to actually get the money, or keep the money, really. If you're a guy that's trying to gain wealth by trying to cheat people and things like that, then I'm like, nah, your money's not gonna last, and it doesn't. So, yeah, I have feelings about that. What about the whole ashamed millionaire thing? I don't know about that. I know that millionaires and rich people get a lot of crap because they are rich. It's like they think that it's all been handed down to them, and most of the wealth built in this country is actually first generation wealth. There's only a small percentage of it, like single digit percentages of it, that actually go to people who have been born into a lot of money, and those are the knuckleheads, really. So, okay. But to finish this thought, a lot of those guys have done things in an honorable way, but it comes from this mindset. And this broke my heart. It's not the mindset that, you know, if you're rich, you're evil. And that the Bible supports that also. And if you look at the context of it, is the love of the money. You know, the rich young ruler got turned away because he could have given all that money away because he was about to inherit the kingdom, so he didn't need the money anymore. He just needed to be around Jesus. But because he wanted it all for himself, that's why he walked away sad, because he wasn't willing to give it up to somebody else. Now, the second guy in the next chapter, he was blessed with you know, Jesus actually visiting him and everything, and he told Jesus that I'll go ahead and let go of the money, you know, give it to the poor. And Jesus kind of like, oh, you have inherited the kingdom. He's like, you got this. Now that you have this, and this is the main thing that you need, then all these things are going to follow you, so you don't need to worry about whether or not you're going to have the money right now. You just need to worry about whether or not, you know, your soul's going to be cast into hell or not. That's what you need to be worried about. So, like I had a guy recently, he said he didn't come to Christ for a long time because he wanted to make a lot of money and help a lot of people, but thought he couldn't do that if he was a Christian. So he didn't, like, give his life to Christ. He did recently because he saw that that wasn't true, but it was like, oh my God, that's crazy. It's scary. So I don't think there's any type of shame in being a millionaire. You should be ashamed of certain aspects of your character. If your character sucks, your money's not going to hide it. I promise. Is this the same one? Ugh, so annoying. I'm black too. Man, why is it not working? Yeah, I really don't know why it's not working, guys. Like, this should spin. I could try plan B here. Break loop. That puts me in the same problem that I was before. Yeah, guys, she's not showing up for some reason. I don't know why. It's so frustrating. Oh, that's one reason why. A Shane millionaire is poor, thinking they're just having a dry spell. Oh, okay. Yeah, I've never heard of Shane millionaire is poor, thinking they're having a dry spell. I haven't heard that before. That's a new spin on it. Right, and that's a hard thing to do. So like the problem with you even saying that is that it puts responsibility on the person, and people don't like it when you put the responsibility of that on them, because it's a hard thing to look yourself in the mirror and say that, you know, I'm the problem. You know, like, yes, there are many problems out there. Okay, there are a ton of problems out there. You experience a problem that I don't experience, you know, every day, but you probably don't even look at it as a problem. You know what I'm saying? So like, you have challenges and you overcome them magnificently. You really do. And like, you're the kind of guy where when people complain about stuff, I'm like, be quiet. Because my man out here has some challenges, you know what I'm saying, and he's still killing the game. So what's your excuse? And it's hard to do that. It's a lot easier to accept the testimony or the witness of, you know, psychologists, you know, or social commentators and things like that, to accept the fact that, you know, well, you're just born this way, you can't help it. You're just born this way, you can't help it. You're born, this is happening, you can't help it. You know, it's a lot easier to accept that, because then you don't have to put the responsibility on yourself. And responsibility is freedom, you know? It's like, it's not someone else's job to do those things for you. It's actually your job to go further, or to not go further, or to do what you want with it. And I think a lot of people are uncomfortable with freedom, because it's like, it's just hard. It can be a very, very challenging thing to really accept freedom, and to know that, okay, despite these challenges, I can still pull this off, or do something different with my life, or whatever it is. Rather than saying that, you know, the government and all of its overreach and blah, 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 you know, it's on all sides that does that stuff, you know. Or if so-and-so hadn't done this, or I hadn't been born this way, I hadn't been, you know, whatever. It's like, it's so much easier to give yourself an excuse alongside with all the excuses. And even people make money off of creating excuses for other people to stay where they're at. You know, it's like, it's people make money off of stuff like that. People make money, doctors and psychologists make money off of making excuses for other people to not take responsibility. We'll go back to I forget what doctor it is, but there's a doctor in the 50s and 60s who was saying that comic books were causing delinquency with children. Now, we all know that that's ridiculous, but at the time when that information first came out, that seemed completely viable, because, you know, with violence and things like that, you know, and pulp comics and things like that, and that's how you got the Comics Code seal of approval or whatever, you know. And that seemed like it was a real thing, because somebody smarter than other people, allegedly, said that that was the case, and he did that. He made got no attention and notoriety from that. But the problem is that, you know, something was going on in the home. That's what the problem is. There's always going to be something going on in the home. So the parents find it easier to just go ahead and blame comic books for, you know, perceived delinquency with minors, for children. You know, maybe it was the fact that, you know, they didn't want to turn out like their, you know, like their parents, you know what I'm saying? Maybe they didn't want to turn out like, you know, being angry and drunk all the time like their dad was, because after the war they came back, you know, kind of screwed up. What about that? You know, so, but that's my tangent with that. I only got 5 minutes left, and I don't know what to do about this. I just got to figure it out some other way. I don't know. I'm very disappointed in myself right now. Yes, just like video games. So so that's everything is a scapegoat if you allow it to be a scapegoat. But the second that a person looks in the mirror and says that, takes a deep breath and says that, okay, I'm done blaming things and circumstances and people and institutions. I'm going to look at myself in the mirror and say that, okay, despite all that, let me do something different. Because these institutions are not going anywhere. These problems aren't going anywhere. I might as well go ahead and roll with the punches. You know? So it's like, instead of, you know, running off on that scapegoat and saying that, you know, oh, this what's going on. It'd be better for a person to just do that pep talk. And the cool thing about taking responsibility for yourself is the fact that if somebody else has a car and I want them to put like 24-inch rims on it and put some flames on it, some other tanky stuff or whatever, you know, and it's someone else's vehicle, then I can't tell them what to do, you know, because it's not my vehicle, it's theirs. That means I'm gonna have to try to convince them and wait for them and try to wait till they get the money for it and all kinds of stuff like that. And you know, that would be just me trying to convince them to do that. And they may never want to change that. They may never want to change anything to do with their car because they like it the way they like it. But if you take responsibility, if I own the vehicle, that means I can do whatever I want to with it because I freaking own it. Responsibility kind of works the exact same way. If you don't take responsibility, you have to wait for everybody else to do something that you want them to do, and they may never do it. You taking responsibility is you owning it, and you can go ahead and do whatever you want with what you have. So you can increase it, you can multiply it, you can give it away, you can do whatever you want to with it. But it's going to be upon you, but you have to make sure you actually own it. What if this is somehow wacky right here? Noise. Nothing's noise right now because can't get this into work. Oh. I want to hold you up from your stream, dude. We should do more streaming together. That'd be fun. Oh, that error! Why? Well, tell the nice people where you can get your stream at. I do not mind if you plug on my thing. Well, it's you, not everybody. Have a bunch of spam on here. Got it. What is going on? I don't know. It's the same. It's the same thing, right? Maybe my line reading isn't wrong. Whatchamacallit. I have to say, one of my favorite things to do in like the world is making RPG battle music. Woo! Well, this is pretty discouraging right here. It really is. I don't know what else to do. I don't know. That couldn't be it. Yep, I got nothing for you guys. I really don't. I really know. Well, that is all for this time around. I'm going ahead and skedaddle out of here. You can find out more ways to support me in the links in the description below. Check out Dreamcore, Vic's Dreamcore on Twitch, because that's my main man, David Mother Clanuckin McKee, and he does the things. He does the music things. So definitely check him out too. But to all who's listening, thank you so much for joining me. I love you all very much, and I'll speak with you soon. I'm just kidding. That's Boogie 2199 something something number. His outro. My outro is bye bye. Wait, that kind of sounds like Peanut Butter Gamer too.